So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Class of 2020, you may be seated.
Good evening and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Charles Page High School class of 2020. And if I can just have a moment of personal privilege, can I just say what an enormous relief it is that the sun has gone behind the stadium. Beautiful thing. It's been a really long and unusual journey to get here this year, and we all made it. Phew. We could spend a long time looking back over the events of the last few months, a global pandemic that caused us to close school with 46 days of instruction left in your senior year. But I don't know about all of you, but I'm kind of done with all that, and I'm ready to move on and celebrate the graduates of the class of 2020. These students are more prepared for the trials and tribulations of adulthood than any other class in our history because of the hardships that they have already endured. These graduates will have quite a story to tell their children and grandchildren. A story of frustration and disappointment in the beginning, ending with new strength and unity in the end because of what they have gone through and triumphed over together. Congratulations, graduates. You are a class for the ages, and none of us will ever forget any of you. There are just a few people I need to thank before we get to the congratulation of the graduates. My counseling, administrative, and office staff have been creative, resourceful, and persistent, and I must say, with this being our third graduation ceremony of the day, have shown great endurance in making this event happen. You know, when you have a job around the house to do, you can choose to either do it yourself or hire somebody to do it for you. We decided to do it ourselves this year, and we thought that during this most unusual year, that we had a better chance of holding a significant and meaningful ceremony that would be memorable for everybody in this community if we did it ourselves. So I'm very, very proud of this leadership group. Like our graduates, my team has faced challenges, and I'm thankful for how they've hung in there, dug in, changed the way we've done graduation for years, and made today possible. So please indulge me in a few thank yous. My assistant principals, Tim Ray and Ryan Biven. Sand Springs Virtual Academy Director Jay Rodert, who is personally shepherded many of these students to graduation tonight. Our Special Services Coordinator, Carrie Schlehuber, along with counselors Sandy Franklin, Kendra Roulette, and Megan Elliott. An unparalleled office staff, Karen James, Carrie Carpenter, Bridget Beard, Kathy Burge, Stephanie Talley, and Sherry Painter. Michael Bynum and his entire maintenance crew, along with my two ag teachers, Randy Evans and Jason Anderson. Andrea Bays, who did all of the printing and all the tech work on this, as well as all of my teachers, the teaching faculty of Charles Page High School, who have played such a significant and vital role in the development of these young people, along with any teachers who might be here with us tonight. I would also like to thank Superintendent of Schools Sherry Durkee and the members of our Sand Springs Board of Education, Bo Noggle, Whitney Wagers, Mike Mullins, Rusty Gunn, and Jackie Wagnon. Thank you for sticking through the heat today and all that you do to invest in these young people. But the real stars today are these graduates, the Charles Page High School class of 2020. This class takes its place proudly among all of the graduates who have walked this path prior to them. They are a uniquely talented and motivated group, and I cannot wait to witness the great things that they will accomplish in their bright futures. Here's an impressive statistic that I can confidently assert is unequaled by any other graduating class in our state. Of the 435 members of this graduating class, 423 of them have completed a senior capstone experience, meaning that they have earned college credit through concurrent enrollment or advanced placement exams. They have completed advanced technical training at Tulsa Tech or through a CTE program at Charles Page, or they have served a work internship in a selected career pathway. Many of them have done more than one of those things during their high school career, particularly during their senior year. These guys are ready for the world of work, ready for the world ahead of them, and they've already taken those first major steps into the world of colleges and careers. Please, yeah, they deserve that. And significantly, many of you deserve thanks as well for being part of our business community that has embraced our internship program and have hired many of these people and given them vital work experience. So we appreciate you as well. Please allow me to recognize a few very, very significant major accomplishments. The highest honor that any American high school graduate can achieve is National Merit Scholar, annually awarded to the top 1% of high school seniors. The highest honor that an Oklahoma high school graduate can achieve is Oklahoma Academic All-State, recognition of the top 100 high school seniors in the state of Oklahoma. We have a senior here among us who has accomplished both of these feats, National Merit Scholar and Oklahoma Academic All-State, Will Bouchard. He even looks smart. A very significant and unique accomplishment tonight. This is my 20-something year as a high school principal, and it's only happened twice that I can recall. Andrew Stacy has recorded perfect attendance for 4 years of high school. Where's Andrew? He's the man. It would have been ironic had he not shown up tonight. The State Department of Education's highest award is Oklahoma Academic Scholar, given each year to those seniors who graduate with at least a 3.7 unweighted GPA and a 27 or higher ACT. I would challenge any of us to go take the ACT and make a 27. I am pleased that we have 30 Oklahoma Academic Scholars in this graduating class. If you are an Oklahoma Academic Scholar, please rise to be recognized. Because of the partial closure of the State Department of Education, they have not yet received their certificates, so some of them didn't know that they were Oklahoma Academic Scholars. The highest academic honor that we award at Charles Page High School is honor graduate. We do not recognize a valedictorian or salutatorian at Charles Page High School because by the time you take these kids who have made straight A's for 4 years of high school, the GPA divisions are minuscule. And singling out one or two of them over the others is meaningless and, quite frankly, unfair. So we recognize our students who have done everything that could ever be expected of a high school student. These students who are wearing the gold medals tonight have achieved a 4.0 or higher GPA through 4 years of high school. They have completed a rigorous 4x4 curriculum, being required to take an English, mathematics, science, and social studies class each of the 4 years. They are required to take at least one advanced placement course each of the 4 years, and they are required to complete a significant community service project during their years at Charles Page High School as well. So in the lieu of a valedictorian, this is our highest academic honor, and I am very pleased to introduce these people to you tonight. So as I introduce you, honor graduates, please rise and remain standing until I've introduced the entire group. Addison Baker. Erica Baker. Victoria Baker. Mackenzie Bechtold. Will Bouchard. Chloe Campfield. Kinsey Champ. Callie Cox. Summer Gray. Sloan Goggin. Thomas Hall. Ben Hunt. Marissa Herdebeis. Luke Jeffus. Holly Keith. Megan Matthews. Phoebe Robinson. Emily Slayhuber. Mallory Shipman. Jade Schrum. Jackson Skaggs. Lindsay Smith. Bella Snyder. Taylor, make no mistake about it, Taylor Spencer. Andrew Stacy. Elliot Sumar. Luca Vaca. And Jillian Wicker. It's the honor graduates of the class of 2020. You may be seated. And finally, is our tradition at Charles Page High School, would all of those seniors who have made the decision to serve our great country in the United States Armed Forces please rise to be recognized. You may be seated. And now, Superintendent of Schools Sherry Durkee will address the graduates, followed by honor graduates Erica and Victoria Baker and Emily Schlayhuber.
Good evening, seniors of 2020. I'm so proud of you today. My journey as superintendent started in Sand Springs when you began your high school adventure as freshmen. And what an adventure it has been. When you were at Central 9th Grade Center, some of you staged a walkout to protest student or school violence. As sophomores, some of you stood beside your teachers in a walkout to support our education system for 10 solid days, marking a turning point for education in the state of Oklahoma. As juniors, you experienced a tragic flood that stole the homes of some of your classmates and ended school abruptly at the end of the year. Many of you served in the cleanup of that flood, aiding your friends and neighbors in our great city. This year, as seniors, you are in the midst of experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic, learning how to handle abrupt changes as we all learn to maneuver in this current situation. All the while, you are steadfast in completing the requirements of this momentous occasion, graduation from Charles Page High School. I commend you for your strength, your tenacity, your courage, your perseverance, and your positive spirit through it all. There is no doubt you are ready for what is to come. There will be more challenges in your life. What you have learned beyond the curriculum in the classroom will serve you well. Remember always to keep your mind challenged, your heart inspired, and allow lifelong learning to empower you. Mostly, inspire hearts, and you will inspire the world. Congratulations.
Okay. It's nice not to be blinded by the sun. That's true. Thank you all for joining us tonight as we celebrate the graduates of 2020. Our 13-year marathon is over. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Erica. No, I'm going to be Erica tonight. Like a final switch, you know? No. We talked about this. We switched enough in high school. We're good. Okay, fine. I'll be Victoria. This is probably why so many people just refer to us as the twins. I'm sure many of you thought we might not be here tonight, whether that be from Corona stopping a gathering this large, or maybe you just weren't doing too hot in one of your classes. All that really matters is that we're here tonight to celebrate our accomplishments over the past 4 years, and to celebrate the start of a new race that many of us may find to be exciting yet challenging. The last 4 years, we proudly raced in Sandite Black and Gold and raced alongside our teammates who became more than just faces in a yearbook. They became our friends and our family. Being a part of a team has taught us how to be involved, how to be leaders, and how to enjoy every step of the race, no matter how hard it seems, because amidst the difficulties, Sandites will always be there. It's through teamwork that our student body raises money every year for Special Olympics. We're there for each other when we need help on our chemistry homework or when we just need a friend to talk to. Sandites work as a team to host school dances and win state championships. But we're more than a team. We are a community and a family on and off the field. I know throughout my academic as well as athletic career, I would not have succeeded without the unconditional support of my friends, coaches, and teachers. Teachers and family, we would like to thank you for your guidance and encouragement throughout our years. Without you, many of us would not be here tonight. For all of us, there is that one special person that impacted you and helped you. Think of them and remember to thank them after we are gone. They deserve it. For me, that special mentor was my cross-country coach. In 8th grade, I started running track, and for some reason, I ran the 400. And if anybody knows anything about track, 400 is a sprinting event.
Sucks.
I'm not a sprinter, but at one of my track meets, an old man wearing a bucket hat and a stopwatch around his neck came up to me after my race and said 2 things. 1, try running the mile next meet, and 2, he wanted me to come join the high school cross-country team next year because he thought I'd make a great distance runner. Frankly, I was just excited that the mayor of Sand Springs was talking to me. I just joined because I didn't want to ride the bus home anymore. So, anyways, I joined cross-country and instantly fell in love with running. No matter what happened throughout my running career, I could always go to Papa Burge, and I have no doubt that I will always be able to count on him to give me an inspirational speech when I'm feeling down, just as many of you went to your favorite teacher. I once complained about having to do hill repeats to get faster, and Burge said, "But Erica, you'll never know what it's like to walk the high grounds until you run the hills." And in life, I found that to be true. Coach Burge, you're an inspiration to me to be a better teammate, Christian, runner, and just overall to be a better person. I'll be lucky to have a coach like you in college. I just just want to let all of the coaches and teachers here know that we notice everything you do for us, such as letting us eat lunch in your classrooms, buying us breakfast before a long drive to an early meet, always keeping cool water for us to drink during the hottest days, and even helping us on our homework during a meet or a game. We notice it, and we wouldn't be the athletes or students we are without it. We all have special moments and memories with that one teacher who put in a little extra effort to see us succeed. Not all of us have a coach who helped us, but everyone has a teacher, a friend, or a family member who helped you to become the person you are today. From the lunch ladies who work every day to make sure we have the necessary food needed for our day, to our counselors who pick us up when we need a pep talk, and to our teachers who educate us regarding not only school, but life lessons we will cherish forever. They help Sandites prepare and win races every day. Like Erica, I would also like to thank my coaches. This year was one crazy ride for many of us, and you guys were always there for me. From scheduling senior photos to wiping my tears away, you guys have always had my best interest at heart. Off the track, however, it is our family who pushes us to make the decisions that we choose to make. True family will always be there for you, no matter how annoying or frustrating they may be. Parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, thank you all for your patience, unending love, and support. We know you all spent countless hours working the concession stands, raising money through fundraisers, helping your student with homework, and putting our needs before your own. My beautiful mother once told me to be the best I could be in life and not to worry about competing with anyone else. Graduates of 2020, as you set out on your new race, I tell you the same thing. Compete with no one, but strive to be the best you and shine. What matters most is that we continue to move forward and never stop learning. As a cross-country runner, I've learned a course is marked with flags. Runners can't choose to cut corners or shorten the race. They must run the path that is marked for them. Sometimes it can be hard to keep moving forward when it seems you're in last place. But remember, in the race of life, you are your only competitor. Run your race at your own pace. At the 1968 Olympics, an hour after the men's marathon winner crossed the finish line, Tanzania's John Stephen Akwari limped across the finish line, injured in a fall early on in the race. When asked why he didn't quit, he responded, "My country didn't send me 7,000 miles to start this race. My country sent me to finish." Sometimes your life, similar to a race, may be filled with pain, but lean on those around you and finish strong. The course is marked for you, and as you run your race, strive to make a difference in someone's life, just as our teachers and family did in our own. Together, we must help each other finish the race and never stop running towards your dreams. Congratulations, class of 2020. We've crossed the finish line. Thank you.
Like many of you, my entire life I have grown up in the Sand Springs School District. From a young age, we are taught the answer to a question on most people's minds that don't live in Sand Springs. What even is a Sandite? The only proper answer to this question is that a Sandite is the person you want to be. Now, this answer is usually followed by a confused stare and then an awkward laugh or two, but that doesn't change the fact that it is true. But what does that mean? What characteristics make up the person you want to be? The first characteristic that comes to mind when I think about the kind of person you want to be is someone that cares for others more than themselves. I hope the class of 2020 would agree with me when I say that we felt so celebrated this year despite the fact that the school year did not end the way any of us had planned. The school staff and teachers are the epitome of caring for others more than themselves. It felt like each day there was something new planned in order to celebrate us, and all of these new events were on top of what everyone was already doing. But it didn't seem to matter how busy everyone was because they cared about us and making us feel special. So, thank you for caring about our memories and our happiness. Who knew that a cap and gown pickup line could be so much fun? Another quality of a Sandite is someone who is kind. They see the needs of others and they meet them, often without having to be asked or getting anything in return. Over the last 2 years, our school has launched a philanthropy week where we raise money for charitable causes. Each year, we are humbled and amazed as we watch students donate their last dollars or their lunch money to those who are less fortunate. If that isn't kindness in its truest form, I don't know what is. Another characteristic is someone that goes above and beyond what is expected. We are often the underdogs, but never count out the Sandites, because that hasn't stopped us from making it to the state tournament or raising $17,000 for Gold Week this year. This year, we had to get really creative to raise money for Gold Week when everything had to go online, but we discovered a pretty awesome boy band within the faculty of CPHS. One of the best parts about being a Sandite is the tight-knit community that is always rallying behind us. It was beyond powerful to look into the stands each Friday night and see them full of black and gold no matter how far we had traveled. Whether we won or lost, we always knew that our fans would be cheering us on all the way home. Another quality of the person you want to be is strong, or as Mr. Trout likes to say, Sandite tough. Whether it's coming to school despite the freezing temperatures or working on an essay next to a wrecking ball, Sandites are strong and no one can convince me otherwise. Flexibility is another characteristic of the person you want to be, someone who can go with the flow and still execute at a high level. This school year was a prime example of flexibility, but it was not the only one that fit into that category. Throughout the 3 years we have spent at Charles Page, we never had a full spring semester. Our sophomore year had a break in the middle for the teacher walkout, but that did not stop us from finishing the year strong and getting caught up on missed instruction. Our junior year, we missed the final 2 days of school. But hey, that was finals week, so I don't think anyone was really complaining. And then this year, senior year, we lived through a global pandemic. But here we are at graduation, finishing what we started 13 years ago in kindergarten. When we started school all those years ago, we never really imagined that it would end this way. We started as fun and energetic kids on the playground at recess with the same 50 kids we had known our whole lives. Then eventually we made it to the middle school where all of a sudden, we were surrounded by 400 kids who all liked to argue about which elementary school was the best. Eventually, these new kids became our best friends, and we couldn't imagine life without them. Through high school, we all made memories that we were going to miss, whether it's cheering on the sidelines, marching on the football field, chanting in the locker room before the big game, spending hours at the FFA barn, or preparing for the spring musical. High school was a big part of our lives. Now we sit here together for the last time, and we realize that high school was nothing like High School Musical. I mean, come on, we never broke out into choreographed song and dance in the middle of the cafeteria. In reality, some parts of high school were hard, but because of that, we have blossomed into caring, kind, hardworking, strong, and flexible young adults ready to take on the world after high school. So, whether the next step in your journey is college, the workforce, or the military, just know that you are prepared. And as Mr. Trout says, you can go anywhere from Charles Page High School. So, what is a Sandite? A Sandite is you and me and anyone that knows that the joy of life is in the journey. A Sandite is the person you want to be. Thank you.
Is anyone ready to receive their diploma? Students, today marks the successful culmination of 13 years of school. That's 13 years of lessons, quizzes, tests, class projects, school lunches, locker combinations, passing periods, field trips, bathroom breaks, and roll calls. It's more than just academics. It's been your lives. It's pep assemblies and games. It's school plays and assemblies. It's practices, rehearsals, and dances. It's growing up together and sharing life's triumphs and tragedies. And now you're here, the final ceremony marking the end, the completion of your final year of high school. Each of you is unique, and each of you had a unique experience at Charles Page High School. Each of you leaves a mark upon each of us that only you could have made. We are proud of you, and we will miss you. Promise me one thing. Promise me that this is not the greatest day of your life. Today's pretty cool, I'll give you that. But promise me that you won't peak at high school graduation. Go forward from this day and achieve great things. Achieve great things as professionals, as husbands and as wives, as mothers and fathers, as citizens and neighbors, and as friends. Live lives of service and achievement. Leave the world a better place because you are in it. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of this country, and take care of this planet. Be proud of being a Sandite. There is no place like our little town. I've always said that when you grow up in Sand Springs like I did, that a little bit of grit, a little bit of that sand gets caught in your throat. And it makes you tougher than everybody else. It makes you hang in the fight just a little bit longer and get things done. Never forget that. Never forget that you've come from this very special place. But also promise me this, that as grounded as you remain in this community, take the license and take the freedom to explore this beautiful world that you have splayed out in front of you. Charles Page High School class of 2020, please rise. It's my favorite part. On behalf of the Oklahoma State Board of Education and the Sand Springs Board of Education, the faculty, staff, and administration of Charles Page High School, I hereby certify that these graduates have completed the requirements for high school graduation and shall receive their diploma from Charles Page High School. There you go. I'll tip him later. All but the first row of graduates on either side, please be seated. Mr. Ray and Mr. Biven, please bring forward the first group of graduates.
Megan Lee Matthews. Sorry.
Kinsey Marie Champ.
Phoebe Marie Robinson.
Taylor Morgan Spencer.
Bella Rose Snyder.
Emily Paige Schlehuber.
Jasmine Nicole McLaurin.
Kennedy Sloan Goggin.
Emily Kate Newman.
Chloe Montana Campfield.
Lily Dulcinea Carlisle.
Lindsay Nicole Smith.
Rachel Joanna Lee Williams.
Hayden Caleb Staub.
Stephen Terrell Thomas Williams.
Logan Isaac Hill.
Summer Michelle Gray.
Connor Patrick Harrison.
Mallory Marie Shipman.
Nathan Marty Campbell.
Kelsey Lee Johnson.
Jillian Danielle Wicker.
Carly Lynn Perriman.
Jade Taylor Schrum.
Bethany Jean Summers.
Jackson Ryan Skaggs.
Elizabeth Ann Dieter.
Luke Edison Jeffus.
Jacelyn Rayanne Trotter. Okay, Claire.
Evelyn Rosella Nanez.
Claire Brianne Pinson.
Lauren Michelle Bedokis.
Callie Grace Cox.
Ryan Edward Miller.
Elizabeth May Smith.
Hunter Alexander Taft Lawrence.
Jenna Louise Hendricks.
Marissa Lepre Hurtubise.
Susanna Bell Kaufman.
Justice Marie Gilkey.
Tanya Angelica Marie Pipes.
Caitlin Rose Delancey.
Ashley Brooke Hall.
Mia Nicole Metz.
Talon Micaiah Slayton.
Chase Dakota Smith.
Heavenly Till Boo Benj.
Trent Lane Goldman.
Angela Dawn Billingsley.
Jason Paul Davis Jr.
Jakaya Suzanne Renee Mitchell.
Dylan Elijah Luker.
Summer Sky Wilkins.
George Thomas Russell.
Angel Don Sheffield. Yep, that's Angel Don Sheffield.
Riley Asher McGee.
Brianna Lee Osborne.
David Austin Fitzgerald.
Devlin Renee Miller.
Aaron Lee King.
Jordan Alexis Moore. I told your mama that too.
Dalton Patrick Duval.
Here we go. Christopher Lee Kirby.
Caleb Wade Phillips.
Noah Edward Henshaw.
Tyler Eric Rush.
Robbie Michael Parrish.
Nicholas Anthony Drehos.
Alexander Craig Coons.
Elias Eugene Elcori.
Raymond Martinez.
Danny Michael Holzenbach.
Kaylee Nicole Hernandez.
Blake Lee Goodman.
Joshua David Minnie.
Trenton Tyler Hance.
Alan Becerra.
Jacob Kyle Coffey.
Luca Geronimo Vaca.
Zachary James Counts.
Gavin Wade Tennant.
Jashawn Isaiah McGriff.
Cody Elijah Polsher.
Justin James Dillard.
Thomas Wayne Longacre.
Joshua Wade McGuire.
Caden Lee Kelly.
Mackenzie Lee Bechtold.
Thomas Gregory Stephen Hall.
Ethan Michael Sarton.
Benjamin Ian Hunt.
Braden Kyle Tessier.
William Jacob Bouchard.
Jacob Schuyler Brennan.
Holly Marie Keith.
Elliot Lowe Samar.
William Lee Osborne IV.
Janae Taylor McCrae.
Andrew Damick Morrison.
Dylan M. Robinson.
Andrew Bennett Stacy.
Bailey Sue Metcalf.
Caleb Russell Tribe.
Good evening, class of 2020. I've missed you. We have had a long day, and I'm excited to see all of you and share some remarks. I want you to know that before I start that it is a profound honor for me to get to address the graduates every year, and because you represent the best and the brightest of this fabulous community. And I wanted to thank you for your attention and your goodwill and you putting up with me. So, would anyone like to hear a story? A mother held her new baby. Let's call that baby Thomas. And very slowly she rocked Thomas back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she held Thomas, she sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The baby grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 2 years old. Let's call that 2-year-old Ben. He ran all around the house. Ben pulled all the books off the shelves. He pulled all the food out of the refrigerator. He took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Sometimes his mother would say, "This kid is driving me crazy." But at nighttime, when Ben was quiet, she opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of his bed, and if Ben was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked Ben, she sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The little boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 9 years old. Let's call that 9-year-old Chris. He never wanted to come in for dinner. He never wanted to take a bath. He only wanted to learn one wrestling hold. And when grandma visited, he always said bad words. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. But at nighttime, when Chris was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. And if Chris was really asleep, she picked up that 9-year-old boy and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. The boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a teenager. And let's call that teenager Luca. He had strange friends. Sand-eyed band. And he wore strange clothes, and he listened to strange music. Sand-eyed band. Sometimes his mother felt like she was in the zoo. But at nighttime, when Luca was asleep, the mother opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If Luca was asleep, she picked up that great big boy and rocked Luca back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked Luca, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." That teenager grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a grown-up man. Let's call that grown-up man Will. He left home and got a house across town. But sometimes on dark nights, the mother, sorry Christy, got into her car and drove across town. If all the lights in her son's house were out, she opened his bedroom window, crawled across the floor. Yeah, it got weird. Looked up over the side of his bed, and if Will was really asleep, she picked him up, rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Well, that mother, she got older. She got older and older and older. One day she called up her son and said, "You better come see me. I'm very old and sick." So Will went to see her. And when he came to the door, she tried to sing the song. She sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always." But she couldn't finish because she was too old and sick. So Will went to his mother. He picked her up, and he rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he sang this song, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my mommy you'll be." When Will came home that night, he stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. Then Will went into the room where his very new baby daughter was sleeping. He picked her up in his arms and very slowly rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while he rocked her, he sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Friends, I've never claimed to know very much. But I do know this. I love Sand Springs. It is a remarkable community founded in goodwill and generosity, and we are proud to call it home. I know that CPHS is an exceptional school. led by visionary administrators, staffed by dedicated personnel, and populated by extraordinary students. I also know that the answer to every one of these questions is yes. Megan, if I am ever satisfied with mediocrity, will you remind me that excellence is the only option? Lauren, if I ever lose my focus, will you remind me that children should be treated as heroes because they already are? Izzy, if I ever lose my rhythm, will you supply the beat? Susie, if I ever forget how to dance, will you teach me the steps? Kinsey and Luke, if I ever lose my spirit, will you help me find it in your battle cry? Jordan and Dalton, if I ever feel that the destination is unfulfilling, will you remind me that the joy of life is in the journey? Jillian and Mia, when the world grows dark, will you light it up with your smiles? Ashley and Tanya, if I am surrounded by meanness, will you rescue me with your charm? Bella, Evelyn, and Phoebe, if I ever stop believing in miracles, will you illuminate your halos to prove that angels really do walk among us? Damick, William, Ethan, when I stumble and fall, will you pick me up and carry me home? Lindsay and Chloe, when I am alone and afraid, will you hold my hand and be my friend? Mackenzie, if I forget my purpose, will you remind me that the most important job is to love the person in front of you? Taylor and Sloan, when I miss you so much, will you remind me that you are never far away because your legends are carved in my heart? Emily, Emmy, when I am too old and too tired to sing, will you take me in your arms and rock me back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? Class of 2020, congratulations and peace be with you. I realize that this might be the last time I get to speak with you. So please remember, you are important. You are loved, and the joy of life is in the journey. Never forget, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my babies you'll be. Thank you.
Class of 2020, will you please stand? You may now turn your tassels.
It is our tradition at Charles Page High School to close graduation with the singing in the alma mater. It's also traditional that the alma mater is led by a senior choir ensemble, but because we're doing 3 separate ceremonies, we don't have a quorum to be able to do that. So you are stuck with the sorrowful singing voice of a member of the class of 1977. Who still remembers the words. So I would be honored if you would stand and join me in our alma mater, after which we are all dismissed. Charles Page High forever, and true to her will be, for to our alma mater we owe our loyalty. Our love is always with thee, as onward we will go. Charles Page High forever, may she live eternally. You are dismissed.